All right, let's go ahead and get started here. It is Tuesday. I'm up 6:25 today. Yesterday, I was up 277 by the end of the day. Yesterday was a little more hectic. Was red for most of the day and then flipped green. Today was a lot better. Things just kind of. I was really patient today. Actually, I didn't take my first trade. I was very patient. The market was kind of stuttering early on this morning, kind of overall going down, but not too aggressively. So waiting kind of for that 10:30 reversal period for the market to kind of bounce, which eventually we did get that. But actually, my first trade was on a small cap stock today, VTSI. I had a trade on this right here. And I made about $270 on this trade. Although, as you can see, it had this crazy flush. So I took a pretty aggressive size on this, 500 shares. I was looking kind of for that push through kind of this level. There's a lot of decent sized wicks here. So when you see that, it is a little bit of a red flag. And then of course we did get that flush. But here on this pullback, I wanted to enter here, but then I ended up taking 500 shares at 864, so right here, and then we got that pop up here, and then this candle continued higher just briefly up to almost 930, but I took everything out at 918 as I sensed that this, not sensed, I mean it was actually kind of. You can just see it in the price action when weakness comes through, and I could tell I was not certain that we were going to get a better break here, so I took my shares out, and that was about a $270 trade, over 50 cents on that move. So actually a pretty nice trade, and literally within seconds after that it flushed down to it would have been almost a full dollar loss probably down here. Anyway, yeah, so that would have been rather nasty. So, okay, that was my early VTSI trade. My next trade was on Plug, which, you can ask me how do I choose these stocks in particular. There's, more than one stock that had a day kind of like this. Neo, for instance, had a really kind of a similar strong day. Palantir had a strong day. I'm trying to compare stocks here that make sense. Maybe XPeng also had a strong day. So it doesn't really matter which one you pick. The point is I wanted something that was going to have relative strength against the market. And so these kind of mid-cap stocks, we did get that strength on these. And I noticed that this one kind of off the opening bell was kind of, just kind of moving sideways, moving down a little bit. But I thought that if this one, if the market could turn around, we might see some strength in this one, which we did. Also, looking at the daily chart, just how kind of extended to the downside it is. And you've got these, a bottom here, and then it's coming in down here, and then, kind of a double bottom here. And this is definitely a spot where you could see some strength come in just based on just how, far down it's gone recently. So anyway, I definitely thought that this could have a nice uptrending day. I got out the rest of my shares here at 32.50. My last 100 shares, you can see I was taking profits here, but then holding on to my last third of the position as it was continuing higher. I probably should have been more patient on this one. It was pretty clear at this point that this was going to be having a green day, and as long as the market wasn't, falling apart, this one was probably going to keep trending higher. And we did actually come all the way above $34 by the end of the day. So I wish definitely that I had held my shares longer. I think I just wanted to take the capital back out of the trade and look for the next trade, because sometimes as you come into that lunchtime period, these can kind of start to consolidate, and although they're trending higher, they can take a lot of patience. The volume comes out of it in the lunchtime period. It did have kind of a nice afternoon move, but that is not always the case. So anyway, as you kind of come into that lunchtime and afternoon, it starts to become a little bit questionable as to what the stock's going to do. Although it was probably definitely going to have a green day, and as you can see, there was definitely more upside that I missed out on. Even just in this same uptrend up to 33.50, I missed out on basically a full dollar. So another $100 there would have been nice, but oh well. Okay, so after that, I tried a trade on SOS, which is a small cap stock as well, in here at 481. And then this was just really an interesting trade, kind of chopping around some low volume here. And then we got this push up, and it ended up having a double top at 495. I didn't take any out up here, which was a bummer. But, oh well. I had to stop out on the rest of my shares just above 1 cent above my break even. So this was really not a big trade. But up here I was up about $100 on this trade or more. Maybe I think almost $150 maybe up here. But unfortunately I did not suck everything out of that trade. I wish I really had taken more profit and had better exits on this, because I could have had a really, really kind of awesome day today. Although it was an awesome day, it could have been even better. So VTSI, I continued to actually trade this because, oh man, this was such an enduring trade. I tried this one several times. Well, really I tried it kind of one extra time, but here I had a quick trade on this and was looking for that break higher, but this did end up breaking down. So as it was coming down here, I managed to get out at break even, very luckily. Here, I tried it again. As this candle was coming up, I got in high at, again, 940. It squeezed up to 960, and I ended up getting my shares out at 943. So I took about $6 of profit on that trade. So again, kind of in and out, break even, trying to get these breaks, but it's just not going, keeps breaking down. The volume's not high enough. Breaks down further here, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a position here, very small, only 100 shares. Right here, and this I wish I'd held on to, but I ended up just getting out of my shares here for an $8 gain. I really wish I had held on and taken even a larger position. I should have gone with my gut. I suspected that this would be a good entry in front of VWAP here, but I was nervous that we'd get that breakdown, and these candles were kind of low volume, and I thought I really wanted it to kind of pop back up, but we did get that eventually, but oh well. So then I was like, okay, well, it did pop back up. I kind of missed it. I want to get back in because now it's relevant again as it's coming back up into these levels. And I'm starting to notice, I draw this downtrend line, and I'm thinking that this looks like a nice bull flag here, especially on the 5-minute, as it's starting to chop around and hold these higher levels as opposed to the morning period. And then when you zoom out even further, you see this kind of curling up action. So I want to be a part of this if this catches a break to $11, $12, $13. Who knows how high it could go. The high in pre-market was almost $15. So this one I thought really had the potential to kind of explode at some point. I just didn't know when it was going to go, so I wanted to have shares in it in case it did go. So anyway, on this dip here, I'm back in the trade 886. So right here, nice entry, it pops back up. Dip here, and then I'm adding 50 shares at $9. I really am thinking we can break out of this downtrend. Pops up here, rejected, harsh rejection here at right at this downtrend line. It's very perfect how some of these technicals work out. It's really pretty remarkable that right at this penny you get this massive flush all the way to VWAP. I'm holding 150 shares. It bounces right back up, consolidates for a bit, and then comes all the way back up. I'm not cutting my shares here. I could have, and I'm not taking profit up here. I want that break above the downtrend. I want what I'm looking for. I'm gonna be greedy, but I'm also gonna be disciplined and not cut my position on these flushes because the pattern is still intact. So it flushes here, comes straight back up, and tries again. I'm like, here we go. This is the spot. Nope, rejected again. Coming up here, a couple minutes of pullback, up again, breaking out of this downtrend line, and then rejected again, all the way back down into the 80s. And as it pops back up again, I'm adding again. Every time it comes down, I'm just adding a little bit more as this pattern starts to kind of manifest. So anyway, chops around, and then lots of consolidation here, dipping down, and then pushing up, and finally, it's breaking out of this downtrend, but what I'm noticing is every time it tries to have a break, a nice break out of this consolidative pattern here, the volume is not high enough. Look at this volume. This is not sufficient to have a nice clean break. When these type of breakouts happen with this much consolidation, you'll know it when you see it. Most times it will break out. I wanted to move straight to $10, like wham, and then possibly higher from there, or a failed break and you come all the way back down. Anyway, I really wanted something very strong, but we didn't get that. Anyway, so yeah, this breakout here of this downtrend is just very choppy and not decisive. But so I took some off the table here, about a quarter position. Comes up here. Finally, we're getting that break, and then no, right back down, and then kind of bouncing off of this downtrend, now coming in as support. And then, guys, to my dismay and unfortunately, on this move here up into the 90s, 990 and 80s and 90s, I unfortunately was not looking at this stock. I was doing something else, and I missed it up here, and I was not able to take profit on it while it was up here. Guys, never walk away from your trades, and if you do, at least set your stop, which I did, but just really unfortunate that I couldn't take any profit up here. It came up, chopped around here for a bit, and then had a brief break over $10 and then rejected, and then from there it just fell apart. I waited for it to try to curl back up, but as it came down here, unfortunately I stopped out at a really bad price, $9. So all said and done, from my first trade on VTSI all the way back here, this was a $270 trade right here with 500 shares. But after that, all my trading it for the rest of the day, the amount of time I put into this stock, trading it and watching it, only added about $45, $46 to my gains on this stock. When up here, I was probably up, I don't know, $200 on it. It's hard to say. Well, actually, it's not. Over $10, my cost basis was 200 shares, or I guess 150 at this point. It would have been about $200 that so I missed out on about $160 on that trade if you do 200 minus 40. So on the day, I definitely missed out on some profit today. So I'm ending up 625, which is good. But you know, if I had really traded my best case scenario, I could have been up $1,000 today, maybe 900 to 1,000. So definitely a good day, but not maximizing that potential. If I'd got the full, $150 out of SOS that I could have gotten, and the full kind of extra 200 on VTSI, today could have been even better. But oh well. So that's just how it is sometimes, giving back some profit. Yeah. So anyway, that is my recap for today. It is Tuesday. I've been green, I noticed, every single Tuesday of this month. And I will try to stay green tomorrow. Guys, I have some exciting news too, which is that if you notice here, I'm up 19,600 all-time day trading. This is just from my day trades. No other. I have other long-term positions, swing trades, anything I hold overnight. If I hold it overnight, it does not count in this total gain. So all of this is just from buying and selling in the same day. As with all of the stats here, it's all just from day trades. So with the 600 today, I'm now over the $20,000 mark from day trading, which is really cool. So that is something that I said at the beginning of the month that I was going to try to get over that $20,000 mark. I thought that was something that was definitely doable, and now I've achieved that. So hopefully tomorrow and for the rest of the week, I can just not blow it. And I gotta knock on wood, because I like to say, like, you really shouldn't be superstitious in your trading, right? That, like, really, that's bad. But like, I think it's just some people, and personally I'm one of them. I cannot help it. I am superstitious. Like when I'm in trades or talking about this kind of stuff, I get a little superstitious sometimes. I just can't help it. I don't know. So anyway, 625 today. That's awesome. Green every Tuesday, and which is the only reason I bring that up is because Tuesdays have not usually been my best day, which is just kind of a random fact. I don't think it really has anything to do with my trading. It's not a real pattern, but just kind of interesting. But also on this day here, I definitely avoided a pretty decent catastrophe that would have set me back considerably on the month. So to have recovered this entire day and made this day green from being down $2,000, now hitting that $20,000 mark and kind of following through, it definitely feels good. But I just got to try to not mess it up. Tomorrow is the last day of the month, so I have one day. I just got to survive. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter because I want to stay over the $20,000 mark, forever, hopefully. So we want to keep this P&L rocking higher. But and as you can see, like for a while there, in the end of October, November, through to February of this year, just kind of was chopping around, not really. I made some money in December, but then gave back a little bit toward the end of the month. And January was really rocky, and then February and March have been really awesome. So, I gotta keep it rolling, and man, it feels really, really good to not be in a drawdown right now. If you guys take a look at this cumulative drawdown, you'll notice that I've had some pretty big fat drawdowns, $5,000 off the highs. So from here, this point down here, that's a $5,000 drawdown, and since recovered that, and now I've been in all green territory since the 24th of this month. So that is this day right here put me back to all-time highs, and then this is all gravy. We're adding to that, and with 625 today, we are we're over for the first time ever $20,000. So let's go. That is super hype, and we'll just try to keep it going. And that is all I have for you guys today in this recap. Thought I'd share some extra stuff there at the end, and I will be back at it tomorrow, 5:40 p.m. Eastern time, guys. I'll be back for my recap, and looking to stay green tomorrow. Trade carefully, trade smart, and join my Discord server if you have any questions, and I will answer them, and we can chat. And leave a like on this video, please, if you did enjoy it, if you found it helpful. And that's it, guys. So I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.